Hi, this is Josh Olson, and you're watching Trailers from Hell. And today we're going to be talking about a movie that's very special to me. This is The Who's Quadrophenia. I happened to be living in England the year this movie came out. It was 1979, and it was, I think, the first movie I saw in England. And just going to a film in England is a different experience than here. They brought you food, and you could smoke cigarettes. I mean, not that I did, I was way too young, but it was a wonderful experience. And this film, while it, I think got some attention over here in the States, was a massive hit in England when it came out. It was a big success in the theater. It was also a very important cultural event because it's about the mods and rockers of the early 60s, which are almost alien to Americans, but it was a big deal in England. Mods were the kids who dressed in fancy Italian suits and went around in parkas and drove Italian scooters. Rockers, of course, were the kids wearing leather jackets, and they rode Harleys and Indians, and they would get together every summer and every bank holiday and just beat the living shit out of each other. And it was very important culturally in England. A lot of great music came out of it. A lot of great culture came out of it. The Who came out of that. In 1979, Franc Roddam directed a film based on The Who's great album, Quadrophenia, and this is that movie. We hear the opening chords of one of the greatest rock and roll songs ever written, and we're off and running. Based, obviously, on the legendary album from The Who, Tommy's probably the better-known rock opera from Pete Townshend and his buddies. And not to knock Tommy or Ken Russell's batshit crazy and wonderful movie based on it, but I think Quadrophenia is the better album and the better movie. The album described a few days in the life of a mod named Jimmy and came with a photo book illustrating scenes from Pete Townshend's story. The movie, directed by Franc Roddam, is a perfect mix of music and story. It's got an amazing cast. They all just seem to have been just pulled out of reality. Phil Daniels, who's shown very brightly for a little while doing a lot of films like this, is absolutely perfect as Jimmy, the lead. Timothy Spall shows up in this. And a young Ray Winston has a couple of scenes. He's completely memorable as a rocker, who is an old friend of Jimmy's. It's kind of fun because there's a small bit by Sting, who, when he appeared in this film as the Ace Face, was still putting together his first band, The Police. In between the time that he appeared in the film and the movie came out, the Police album came out and became this huge hit, and he was a superstar. So it was kind of a strange thing where you have this film where one minor character is all of a sudden a big star. But Quadrophenia is an incredible mix of music and film. It's one of the great rock and roll movies of all time, and if you haven't seen it, I would urge you to do so.
Triumphant answer to indifference. The movie the music's been waiting for.